Scoot up for a second. I've got a story to tell. But to hear it, we've got to go all the way to the City of Lights. You know, the city where what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas. This story doesn't begin in the casino or on the strip under neon flashing lights. This story begins in a gym. A gym, yeah, where people go to build confidence in their bodies, to feel strong. But on May 16th, 2025, a gym became a battle zone, and it was all caught on camera. So grab your favorite glass of something dark, one ice, and scoot up. Lock in. This isn't fiction. This happened. And once you hear it, you'll never forget it. Welcome to The Zone for a segment that we call Fade to Fade. Las Vegas, a place that glows even in the darkest of night. It's showbiz, it's sin, second chances, but it's also ordinary life. People live here, raise their kids here, and just like anywhere else, hit the gym after work here, just trying to stay healthy and unwind. The Las Vegas Athletic Club on West Sahara Avenue in Las Vegas wasn't some exclusive high-end hideaway. It was regular, familiar, the kind of place you see every day. Walk in, scan your card, hit the treadmill. But on May 16, 2025, that day didn't follow the routine. At exactly 1:33 p.m., a man walked through the doors. He wasn't sweating. He wasn't even smiling. And he wasn't there to lift weights. 34-year-old Daniel Ortega, his name didn't set off any bells. He wasn't infamous. Not yet. But he came in with an AR-15 style rifle and a plan. Strapped with a .223 caliber weapon and hate in his heart, he walked past the glass, past the front desk, and right up to Edgar Quinones, a 31-year-old employee just doing his job. And then, in an instant, Edgar was dead.
I'm Under Sheriff Andrew Walsh, that's ANDREW WALSH, the Under Sheriff with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. I want to provide everybody with just a brief overview of the dynamic incident that has unfolded behind me here at the Las Vegas Athletic Club this afternoon. Officers from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department were dispatched to a call for service. The details of that call indicated that there was a person armed with a weapon and shooting inside of the Las Vegas Athletic Club.
One shot, just one, and a life was gone. Edgar wasn't just a staff member. He was the heartbeat of the gym, known for his kindness, his smile, and his energy. A guy who knew your name and your workout routine. Just gone. Just like that. He never saw it coming. Nobody did. Witnesses stated it was like time froze. 1 minute calm, and the next, hell.
Yo, I was at the sauna to cool off, and I was about to leave, and this girl, she was like, hey, and I was like, what's going on? Took my headphones off, and she was like, hey, don't go out there, we heard shooting. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, yeah, we heard 5 gunshots. So I was in the bathroom hiding with girls, and I was like, I had heard a thump in the sauna, but it just felt like someone dropped weights, right? But yeah, no, I came out and everything, we had to wait for the cops to release us, and now it's now I don't know if I have to leave because they're blocking everything out. So gracias a Dios, I'm good, but wow, that is insane. Right next to I can't leave. They have it all blocked off. No one can leave right now. What a crazy day. I'm still here. There's so many things blocked off. I'm not going to be able to get my car. It's right there. Oh, my carrito. Yeah, there were so many things going on. I did hear the story of it. It seems like the front desk, was doing her thing, asking for the membership. And then the guy showed her the rifle and was like, I suggest you hide. And so then she's like, what? And he shows her the rifle. So she ends up moving to the office. The manager also, she warns him he points the gun at the manager, closes the door, and then that's when they hear like 13 shots going at. He had a rifle going on. I think about 1 to 5 people were pretty much injured. Not sure if they passed away or not, but thank God I am safe and those 10 extra minutes of walking, so we'll see. So now I'm just leaving my car here. I'm just gonna catch a ride. I just got to the place. Everything's blocked off. They have all Rainbow just blocked off. So it was the gym at Rainbow 95. My dad's gonna come and pick me up at the McDonald's. So yeah, it's gonna be there for a while. I don't think I'm gonna pick up my car until later. But what I also heard was that I didn't seem that old. It was a younger guy. He was coming after like a Hispanic or something. He went into like the smoothie bar section and started just doing his thing, which is horrible. The cleaning lady, she ran into the office and saw the girl that received him like trembling, and saw all of the shells pretty much out as well. So it's definitely a big investigation, very big crime scene.
Well, Joe, I'm with Lansing Santana, who was also in the gym when this happened, and I want you to walk me through what happened. What were you doing? Where were you in the gym, and what did you hear happen?
Well, I was downstairs by the racquetball area. That's an area downstairs, and then you have the racquetball room, and then the door is immediately that way. So we were on the last machine by that area, and immediately I heard pow, pow. It sounded like war. And so instead of looking to see what was happening, I just immediately beeline for that door. I looked around at my girl. She was ducked down by the machine. I said, let's go. And she started running. So we left everything behind that we had. And I didn't know if I was hit or not because it sounded like it was right next to us. And so we made a beeline for the door and ran out, and we just kept running. And then we saw everyone else come out, and then they said that a manager got hit or something, but, you know, we didn't see any of that, so.
We were told that multiple people were shot. At least one person has lost their life here. The shooter, I believe, was taken to the hospital, but obviously the threat has been neutralized at this point. But talk to me about coming here. I mean, obviously you come here a lot. Had you noticed any problems here at the gym?
I haven't noticed any problems, but I always look around wherever I go just to make sure, because you never know where this is going to happen. So my thing is always to stay aware of everything. Even when I'm in the bathrooms, I just look around. That's just my thing. But they was just saying, like I said, that happened earlier, a couple of days ago. Then he came back. I think they said he had on a suit. I can't verify any of that, but I did see his boots on the ground. I saw him come out with the gun, and he hopped around as if he was trying to shoot again, and that's when LVAPD was right here and neutralized him right there.
Okay. Yeah. We had heard some reports about his gun jamming. Was the shots that you heard in succession, or did you hear?
In succession, I heard at least 4 or 5, and that's when we just took off. And so that's probably the point where it jammed. Probably reloaded, or I'm not sure how he got it out. But I heard he chased the manager.
Wow. How quickly were you able to get out?
Oh, faster than I could just blink.
Is that the fastest you've run?
No. But wow. And I kind of zigzagged a little bit because I know to do that if there's a shooting or whatever. So.
And again, we've heard that multiple people were shot here. We don't know their conditions right now, but to know that there are people just like you that were working out, you know, going about there every day and got caught up in all of this. Talk to me about that.
Even shrapnel. I heard people got hit with shrapnel, you know, in the jaw. I saw one guy they were taking care of out there got hit in the jaw. Yeah, it's unfortunate because I hate to say I'm glad it's not me, because that means someone else, and I feel sorry for the people who got hit or was in that situation. Wish I could have done something or saw the person, but the first instinct is to get out, because I didn't know if I was hit myself. Because you never know.
Talk to me about what's going through your mind when you're questioning if you were shot.
Oh my God, it's just the energy seems to come out of you. Because as soon as I stepped out of the door, I felt exhausted, and I was like, "Am I hit?" And so I just started kind of feeling around, and you know, but I realized I wasn't, and made sure she was okay. She broke down a little bit. It was another guy out there that broke down too. I had to hug him because he started crying and breaking down and everything too. So it was something that I never thought. You see it on TV, then when you're in it, you have these thoughts of being a hero, not when you really hear that gunfire and you know.
And when you did get out, did you see anybody who was, obviously trauma everybody's going through, but did you see anybody who was physically injured?
Yeah, it was a couple of guys. They took them off to the left, older gentleman, I think, and so I think he's the one that got hit in the jaw. I'm not sure where the other injuries were on the other guy, but they brought out the stretchers, and that's when they told us to get back. And when we got back, they were standing in that jaded position, and as soon as he came out with the gun, he hopped around with the gun, and then that's when they let off the shots and took him down.
It sounds like Metro got here extremely quickly to neutralize the threat. Talk to me about the police work here.
Thank God they did that, because honestly that was fast. They had the helicopters in the sky, because just imagine when he came out, the other people that he could have started shooting in the parking lot. So they were ready when he came out that door, which was great. And then he had the perimeters sealed off, which I saw, which is great. So yeah, they did a great job with that. So.
And talk to me about how you're doing right now. I mean, this must be so much to process.
I'm great, and that's not to say someone else shouldn't feel that way. I'm Aries, and I'm just kind of can deal with a lot without.
You think it maybe hasn't quite hit you yet?
Maybe, but you know, I've been through certain things where I don't panic, and I think that's good for other people around me. I was going to be an FBI at one point in my life, and so maybe that's part of my makeup of who I am. But
so you've had some training to keep you calm.
Yeah, and I do the martial arts and all of that stuff. So, but it's not the same thing about anyone else. I'm here to support others when they need that strength and whatever they need to get through. So. And
just talk to me about how you're feeling for those people who were injured here.
I feel bad, because life is so unpredictable, and there's people who love people, and imagine getting that call that this person is no longer with us today or got injured. And, you know, what if you were in an argument and now all of that is so minute that you did that whenever, and so now this person's hurt. So the first thing you're thinking about is, I love you. I'm sorry. Let's be better at what we can do in life and be better as people.
I'm so glad that you were okay. Is your girlfriend?
She's perfect too. She cried a little bit, but I had to hug her, and
you're physically okay as well.
Physically okay as well too. So.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us live here on Fox 5. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Matt, I'm going to have you once again pan over to the gym to show what's going on right here. You can see that Metro is bringing in extra cars, taking some cars out. This scene is going to be closed for hours, clearly, as they go through the gym and figure out exactly what it is that happened here.
After taking Edgar's life, Ortega didn't stop. He turned, raised his rifle, and sprayed the gym floor. 24 shots.
What color gun was it?
It was a black.
Okay. And you're pretty certain it was? Was he by himself?
Yes, I think there's shots.
911 emergency. Fire or medical? Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Hello, anyone there?
Bullets ripping through the air. People ducked behind treadmills, scrambled into locker rooms, hiding wherever they could. 3 were hit, wounded, bleeding. One woman stated she laid so still under the stairwell, the sound of her own heartbeat louder than that of the gunshots. And then silence. The gun jam. Yeah, that's what saved lives that day. Not grace, not mercy, a malfunction. At 1:39 p.m., 6 minutes after the first shot, 6 minutes that felt like forever, Ortega walked out of the gym, calm, gun still in hand. But waiting outside was Las Vegas Metro Police.
Body cam video shows the moment a suspect was shot by police after investigators say he killed one person and shot several others at a gym in Las Vegas. By that time, police had responded to the scene.
No.
Investigators say Ortega was taken to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead. At this time, they say they don't know what his motive was, but they say he did attend that gym.
Dash cam and body cam footage show officers shouting commands, but Ortega didn't listen. He didn't stop. He didn't drop the weapon. He ran, turned, and fired. The police returned fire, and just like that, Ortega was down.
The shooter also dead in a shooting inside a Las Vegas athletic club gym in the Northwest Valley. Reports of shots fired came around 1:30 p.m. We're looking live with you at the scene right now. Police also say several people in that gym are injured. It is at the location on Rainbow between Vegas Drive and Lake Mead Boulevard, and traffic surrounding the area cut off at this time.
Metro Police Department had a press conference about a half an hour ago where they confirmed the shooter died at a hospital. Police engaged with the shooter at the gym, and he was sent to the hospital where he died. Metro also telling us that one person died at the gym. Now, there's several witnesses that we spoke with here who describe a chaotic scene. But Metro says officers responded around 1:30 this afternoon to a shooting at the Las Vegas Athletic Club near Rainbow and Vegas. Officers, as I mentioned earlier, did engage with the shooter, and we're aware that there are victims being treated at the hospital. Some people told me they took cover when they heard the shooting, while others, like the man I spoke with, immediately ran out the gym.
He was taken to a local hospital, but didn't survive the night. Now you're probably asking yourself, who is this guy? What made him do this?
The suspect has been identified as Daniel Ortega. He was 34 years old, 5 foot 11 inches tall, and weighed 180 pounds. Ortega was armed with an Olympic Arms PCR .223 caliber rifle. You can see the picture of the rifle on the screen. The investigation revealed he fired 24 rounds during this incident. The following are Ortega's charges had he survived: 1 count of murder with a deadly weapon, 3 counts of attempt murder, 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon on a protected person, and 5 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. The details of this event are as follows. On May 16th, 2025, at 1:33 p.m., Daniel Ortega arrived at the Las Vegas Athletic Club located in the 1700 block of North Rainbow Boulevard. He was armed with a rifle when he walked into the gym. The suspect walked past several people leaving the business and approached an employee working the front desk. Ortega then started to pace around the front desk area while several other individuals left the business. A second employee approached Ortega and the two briefly exchanged words. The employee fled when the gunman raised his rifle and started shooting, striking the employee. The suspect followed the employee deeper into the business and continued to fire rounds. The assailant then made his way back to the front lobby where he continued firing rounds. At some point, his weapon malfunctioned. At approximately 1:34 p.m., LVMPD Communications received multiple calls that a male was armed and shooting inside the Las Vegas Athletic Club on North Rainbow.
Is he alone?
Yes, he was by himself.
Okay.
The thing is, when he came in, he told me to move. Like, he didn't shoot me. He was like, get out the way, you better move. That's why I took us in here.
Oh, my God.
And then he didn't shoot Edgar either. He just kept pointing the gun at me and Edgar. And then Edgar ran out and he's like, don't shoot me, don't shoot me, don't shoot me.
He pointed the gun at you and your coworker?
Yeah, he pointed the gun at me and my manager, but he didn't shoot us.
Okay.
He just showed us, he's like, I was at the front desk, and he's like, you better get away. And he came behind the desk, and I was just standing there because I'm like, and then he was like, you better go. So I ran into the office and got my manager and my other coworker and put them in this office.
I heard another boom, and I was like, okay, that's 2. And I'm like, wow, they dropped a lot of weight. So I'm like, well, okay. And then the third boom knocked me forward and knocked me to the ground. I was completely I was like, what the heck? And I put my hand back there, and I had blood on my hand, and I was like, whoa.
John Tiffin says after being knocked to the ground, a teenager who he does not know ran by and told him something was happening and they needed to get out. He says the teen helped him up and they both ran out of the building.
There's pedestrian people out there, and they were like, hey, are you okay? And I go, I don't know, something hit me in the back, man, I don't know. And they were like, okay. So they pulled up my tank top, and they go, you got shot. And I'm like, I got what?
Tiffin says he was shot twice. He says doctors told him one bullet went into his hip and then exited, and a second bullet went into his back and got stuck in a muscle.
I just did a nice chest and back workout, and my back muscles, I guess, were really tight from that. So when I got hit, the bullet lodged right into the muscle, and it didn't go any. It almost got the organs, but it didn't. But that's what threw me to the ground, because I guess the initial, if it would have just went through me, that would have been, that would have been it.
He says he witnessed the suspect come out of the gym, and officers asked him to put his weapon down. He says when he didn't comply, police shot him and then put him in handcuffs. Tiffin says although he is in pain, he won't let getting shot keep him down.
I'm a go-getter. I'm not really one for laying down constantly. It's not my thing.
Officers were immediately dispatched, and at 1:39 p.m., officers Javier, Black, and Urban arrived at the business. All three officers deployed their patrol rifles and approached the front doors. Officer Javier observed the gunman by the front doors armed with a rifle and fired a round through the window at the suspect. Shortly after, the suspect exited the business still armed with the rifle and ran past officers. Officer Urban fired 4 rounds, and Officer Black fired 1 round, striking Ortega. All three officers immediately took the suspect into custody and began providing life-saving measures. Medical personnel arrived and transported him to UMC Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. We will now play video of the suspect leaving the business. This is after the shots had been fired and he had had a malfunction. The suspect is seen throwing a set of car keys while he paces back and forth, routinely looking out the front window. You'll see him take his wallet out of his back pocket and also toss that down on the floor. We presume that when he opens this door is when our officers first see him, when Officer Javier fires the first round. And then he exits the other set of doors. We will now play body-worn camera video from all three officers.
34, we got 2 rifles deployed. Those 4 people are still inside. Still inside. Steer, take over, he's coming out. One's coming out. Yeah, that's coming out. Keep cover. Yes, it's the front door. I don't have a shot. Seen him in the entrance. 1 WMA, all black clothing with the rifle. Copy. You better keep the door. Okay. Okay. He's right there by the fucking door. Shot. That's 2 William 34. Still moving. He's moving. Hey. I see him. He's right there. He's by the front door. I don't see him. I've got cover, don't worry. Hey, he's locking the doors, dude. I think he is. Hey, we gotta push in, dude. He's right there by the fucking door. No. he still inside? Is he inside? You got one down in here. You got a guy with a long-range rifle inside. Okay. He went in the bathroom? There's women in the bathroom. He needs to use that bathroom. He went that way with a long-range rifle. Okay. Okay, right there. Hey. Okay, I see him. I see the. Get cover. Yes, he is the front door. I don't have a shot. Okay, yeah, he's at the entrance. Kate, get some fucking cover. They barricading the door? Okay. Okay. He's right there by the fucking door. You don't have a shot. Is that you, Kate? Is that you?
And here's a slow motion video with the still shot of Ortega holding the rifle as he exits. As additional officers arrived, action teams were formed and entered the business. Officers located 3 individuals suffering from apparent gunshot wounds. Medical pronounced 1 individual deceased on scene and transported the other 2. And during the investigation, it was discovered that another individual had self-transported to an area hospital with non-life-threatening injury. Before I take any questions, I do want to remind you that this 72-hour briefing is to tell you the facts as we know them now. We're aware that there's speculation as to motive. However, this is still an active and ongoing investigation, and at this time, we cannot confirm the suspect's intent.
Daniel Ortega, 34. No prior convictions, no prior connections to the victims, no criminal record that rang any alarm bells. But reports state that he had mental health issues and struggles with paranoia. He told people that he believed he was being followed, targeted, that he needed to protect himself. But there's no evidence that anyone was after him. Some close to him state that he'd been acting strange, isolated, angry. He believed the gym was part of some twisted surveillance plot, a fantasy, if you will. No manifesto, no notes, just rage and a gun. Las Vegas was shaken. Again, another shooting.
Get down. Get down. Stop. They're not real gunshots.
What is it?
I don't know.
It's on the outside, I promise. It's on the outside, honey.
Let us check in now with Forbes Riley, who was at the Mandalay Bay Hotel at the time of the shooting. Forbes, good morning to you. What did you see?
Well, not only what do I see, but I'm still standing here. We've been in lockdown in the foundation room on the 48th floor of Mandalay Bay. I can see the big Mandalay Bay sign on my left. I can see the strip right ahead of me. And right below us is where the concert was. We were on the balcony last night taking photos, and like everyone's reported, we thought we were all hearing fireworks. And none of us were really noticing, except it got really kind of weird and loud. And then with the girl shooting the pictures of me, I think you have a video clip of us actually, the video of what happened. She's looking down at the concert. It's like, I think there's people on the ground. And you have that moment of going, no. And then there were people strewn everywhere. And we thought, well, okay, that just can't be real. And by the time we put all this together, minutes had passed, and the shooter was literally, I don't know, I'm not good with speech, but I can point to where his hotel room was, started seeing smoke come out of there, and thought, okay. We all ran inside. And I think the weirdest thing for us as a room, there's been 120 of us still here. We've been here all night. I'm sleeping on the floor of the foundation room. But the SWAT teams came in with these giant machine guns, and everyone started yelling, everyone, down the floor. And we're thinking, oh, my God, there's a gunman here. I raced outside behind a potted flower and thought, this is it. And obviously it wasn't. It was the good guys. But everybody was, panicked. That was before they got him on the 32nd floor.
Forbes, let me go back to something you said. You said you looked down and saw people strewn on the ground, and somebody said people are down there. Did the music drown out the gunfire? Did you not hear the gunfire?
Oh, my God, no, the gunfire didn't sound like gunfire. You have never heard anything like this. It just sounded like fireworks, mass amounts of fireworks consecutively. It was, you hear it, you pop, 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 pop. You're like, that's not a gunfire. I've never heard this in my life.
And you said that at some point you noticed the smoke coming out of the what we now know is the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel. When did you realize, my goodness, the shooter is actually in this hotel?
We didn't. We had no idea the shooter was in here. In fact, the reports that we were getting, there were up to 30 shooters, that the Bellagio had a bomb in it, the Slingo's under attack, they closed down Fremont Street. We were all thinking, oh my God, we are seriously under massive attack. Yeah, and the funny thing is, there was no news, so we just went to Twitter. The first thing we heard was some people reporting Twitter about what happened. We did not realize what we were watching was a gunman at all.
Have you been given any indication, Forbes, of when you might be released, when that area might come out of lockdown status?
No. In fact, we released a long time ago. There was no food up here. We just got a little bit of coffee and some French fries. But the street below me is completely blocked off. I think it's the creepiest thing I've ever seen, with all the cars and all the the fire and the lights. But there is no traffic out there at all. And obviously, it's bizarre. We're just literally, the eerie thing is I'm looking out of my left side, like at 11 o'clock on a clock. Mandalay Bay is right there, and you can actually see his room from where I'm standing.
Did his room have a balcony? Can you tell? Is the window shot out? Do you have a good vantage point?
There aren't, no, he had to have shot out the window. There are no balconies. In fact, most of the windows in all of Las Vegas don't open.
Yeah, that's what we understood.
Did you know anyone down at the concert, Forbes?
No, I don't. One of the gentlemen here did, and his friend was shot and killed. We had all I was here with, I'm a television presenter. We were here with Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank and Brian Cardone, and we'd all just broken up this party. Two of our party literally got in a car there at the Hard Rock. They literally just left before all this happened. And the guys went downstairs. They're stuck they're in the cafeteria. They're in the basement right now all night long. They went down to play poker. So I'm grateful, but I'm horrified. It was bad enough when we first heard that 2 people got killed. But this is so mind-blowing and so hurtful that I just think we're all just terribly in shock.
Can only imagine. Well, Forbes, we're glad you're okay. I'm sure these are difficult hours, and you guys are ready to just go home. But really appreciate you calling. We might walk down the 46 flights of stairs. It is bizarre that I have a vantage point that I do to see exactly what's happening. I don't want to be morbid, but if I walk out to the balcony, they're not letting us. You can really look down right on the concert field, and I don't know what's down there.
Well, perhaps best not to look and get that vantage point. Forbes, thank you for calling in. We appreciate it.
Another ordinary day turned fatal. At candlelight vigils, people wept for Edgar. They embraced the wounded, and they asked the question, why are gyms, schools, churches, places of peace now turned into war zones? Why are AR-15s easier to purchase than healthcare? And why did Edgar, just a guy trying to earn a living, have to die for nothing? Body cam footage It's brutal. It's raw. Ortega running, officers shouting, shots fired. The footage confirms what the witnesses described. It was fast. It was terrifying. And it could have been much worse. Some say officers saved lives that day. Others say it should have never come to that. Gun violence in America isn't rare anymore. It's ritual, it's routine, but it still breaks us every time. And the scariest part, it's not the places that are dangerous. It's the people we don't see coming. The ones walking beside us, smiling, holding doors, and secretly carrying hate. So now as we close this chapter, what can we learn? We learn that no place is safe from the chaos that people carry within. We learn that a gym, a sanctuary of improvement, can become a site of trauma. And we learn the name Edgar Quinones. Say it, remember it, because he didn't deserve to become another statistic. This is more than just a true crime story. This is America, raw, wounded, still bleeding from wounds it refuses to stitch. So the next time you walk into a gym, or clock in for your shift, or smile at someone across the room, remember how quickly things can change. And maybe, just maybe, we'll figure out how to stop all of this before it keeps happening again and again. If this story moves you, don't just scroll by. Say his name, Edgar Quinones. Say it, remember it, share it. He mattered, and so do all the lives that violence continues to steal. Hit that subscribe button, because over here, we cover stories that require, well, a little something stronger than just champagne. Until next time, stay safe, stay woke, and never, ever stop asking why. Thank you for joining me in the zone. The Hennessy zone, that is. Straight talk, no chaser. Some truths don't come with bubbles. They come with burn. And in the Hennessy zone, we don't chase pain. We face it. Until next time, take it straight, but keep it real.